Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Easy English Podcast, your friendly place to learn easy English through natural conversations and useful ideas for everyday life.
It's really good to have you with us today. Maybe you're on your way to work, making something to eat, taking a break, or just listening while you relax for a few minutes. I'm Alex.
And I'm Sarah.
Sarah, can I ask you something?
Sure.
Are you usually good at staying calm?
Usually,
That pause already gave me the answer.
I try to be calm.
I try sounds very different from yes.
Okay, fair. Most of the time, I think I'm pretty calm. But yesterday, I had one of those moments where my brain reacted much faster than the situation deserved.
What happened?
I was standing in line at a bakery. I'd been waiting for a few minutes, and then this man walked over and stood right in front of me.
Just stepped in front of you?
That's what it looked like. And immediately, I could feel myself getting annoyed.
Did you say something?
I almost did. In my head, I was already saying, "Excuse me, there's a line."
Only in your head?
At first. But then my brain kept going. I imagined him answering rudely, and then I imagined what I would say back.
So he hadn't even said anything yet, and you were already having the whole argument in your head.
Exactly. And then he turned around and said, "Oh, sorry. Are you waiting to order? I thought you were waiting for pickup."
Oh.
Yeah,
So there wasn't really a fight,
there wasn't even really a problem.
and 5 seconds earlier, your brain had already created both.
That's what made me think about it afterward. Sometimes a very small moment happens, and we react before we actually know what's going on.
I think everyone does that sometimes. You get a short message from your manager and immediately think, something's wrong.
Or a friend doesn't answer for a few hours, and you start wondering, did I say something?
Or you're speaking English, someone says, sorry, I didn't understand, and suddenly your brain says, my English is terrible.
Even though maybe they just missed one word.
Right. The situation might be small, but the reaction becomes much bigger.
And that's really what we want to talk about today, the power of staying calm.
Not pretending you're never angry or nervous.
No, staying calm doesn't mean you stop feeling things. It means the feeling doesn't have to choose your next sentence for you.
I like that, especially for English learners. Because when you're nervous, annoyed, embarrassed, or under pressure, even simple English can suddenly feel difficult.
Exactly. You may know what you want to say, but your mind starts moving too fast. You speak faster, your sentences get longer, or you answer before you're sure you understood.
So the question is, what can you actually say when you feel that pressure and need a few seconds?
One of the simplest and most useful sentences is, "Give me a moment to think."
Give me a moment to think.
Yes, you could also say, "Let me think about that for a second."
That feels a little more casual.
It does. And in a professional situation, you might say, "I don't want to answer too quickly. Let me think about it."
I like that. You're not apologizing for thinking.
Right. You're giving yourself enough time to give a better answer.
Which is probably better than saying the first emotional sentence that appears in your head.
Definitely. And giving yourself that time can improve your English too.
How?
Imagine you're at work and someone asks, "Why didn't you finish the report yesterday?" If I feel defensive, I might answer like this. "I was going to finish it, but nobody sent me the numbers and I couldn't do anything because I was waiting for the information."
I understood you, but you sounded like you were trying to get through the sentence before anyone could interrupt.
That's exactly how it feels. Now listen again with more space. Give me a moment to think. I finished most of it, but I was missing 2 numbers. I should have updated you earlier.
Much clearer. And the second version was actually simpler.
That happens a lot. When we panic, we often make our sentences longer because we're trying to explain everything at once.
And if English isn't your first language, a long sentence gives you more places to get lost.
Yes. In a difficult moment, simple English can be powerful English.
So part of staying calm is controlling your pace.
That's a big part of it. A useful word here is steady. A steady voice is controlled. It doesn't suddenly become much faster or much louder because you're nervous or angry.
So I can still feel nervous and keep my voice steady.
Yes, the nervous feeling can still be there. You're just not letting it control the next sentence.
That feels more realistic than somebody telling me, just relax.
Much more realistic.
Let's hear that phrase once more.
Give me a moment to think.
Give me a moment to think.
There's another problem, though. Sometimes you don't answer too quickly. Sometimes you react to something you misunderstood.
That can be worse, because you may feel completely sure that you understood.
And when you're speaking English, misunderstanding someone can feel embarrassing. A person says, "Sorry, what do you mean?" And suddenly, you start questioning everything you just said.
I know that feeling. One confused face and my brain goes, "My English has failed."
But maybe they only missed one word. Maybe they heard you incorrectly. Maybe your sentence simply wasn't clear enough. Misunderstandings happen in every language.
So instead of treating confusion like criticism, I should check what happened.
Yes. Let's try a situation. Imagine you're calling a hotel. You want to move your reservation from Friday to Saturday, but I misunderstand you.
All right.
So you want to cancel your reservation for Friday?
No, that's not what I said. I said I want to change it. Why aren't you listening?
Now I know what you want, but I also feel blamed.
Right. Let me try it again. I may not have explained that clearly. I don't want to cancel the reservation. I'd like to move it from Friday to Saturday.
That's much easier to respond to.
And I didn't have to say that everything was my fault.
No, I may not have explained that clearly. Simply gives both people a fresh start.
What if I know exactly which part caused the misunderstanding?
Then, what I meant was, is very useful.
What I meant was, I need the room on Saturday, not Friday.
Yes.
And if my first explanation was too complicated,
You can say, "Let me say that another way."
I like that phrase because it gives you permission to simplify.
And that matters. When somebody doesn't understand us, we sometimes respond by making the next sentence even longer.
They didn't understand 10 words, so apparently 30 will solve it.
That seems to be the logic.
Give me an example.
Imagine saying, "Because of a change that happened yesterday in my work schedule, which I only found out about in the afternoon, I don't think I will be able to arrive at the time we originally discussed."
I understand it, but if I were already nervous, I could easily lose control halfway through.
So make it simpler. Let me say that another way. My work schedule changed, so I need a later appointment.
Much easier.
And sometimes the misunderstanding is on your side. In that case, say, "Let me make sure I understood."
That one works almost anywhere.
The does. Let me make sure I understood. The meeting is now at 4, not 3. Is that right?
I could use that at work, at a hotel, during a phone call, or when making an appointment.
And notice what you're doing. You're asking a question before deciding what the situation means.
That is something I stop doing when I'm stressed. I stop asking and start deciding.
What do you mean?
Somebody sends me a message that says, "Can we talk later?" and my brain immediately decides something is wrong.
Even though all you really know is that they want to talk later.
Right.
And that same habit can cause trouble during disagreement, too.
Because sometimes there isn't even a misunderstanding. I understand what you mean. I just don't agree with you.
True.
And that's harder, because I can't solve it by asking you to explain the sentence again.
So let's imagine we work together. We need to choose a day for an important presentation. I think Friday is better. You prefer Monday.
Show me what it sounds like when the conversation goes wrong.
I think Friday is better because the team needs more preparation time.
No, Monday is obviously better. Friday makes no sense.
It makes perfect sense. You're not thinking about the people who still need time.
I am thinking about them. You just don't like my idea.
And now neither of us is really talking about the presentation anymore,
We're trying to prove that the other person is the problem.
which usually doesn't help.
So try it again.
I think Friday is better because the team needs more preparation time.
I see it differently. Monday would give us more time to make changes afterward.
That's fair. My concern is that two people are still finishing their part.
Okay, could we ask them when they expect to finish before we decide?
Same disagreement, but now we can actually solve something.
And I see it differently lets me disagree without saying, you're wrong.
Right. It's softer, but it's still clear.
I see it differently. I think we need more time.
And you're still being completely clear about what you think.
What about, I understand your point, but I don't agree?
That works too. It's more direct, so your tone becomes important. Listen, I understand your point, but I don't agree.
The words are polite, but your voice isn't.
Now listen with a steadier pace. I understand your point, but I don't agree.
Much better. You still sound confident.
And that's important. Calm does not mean weak.
I also struggle when someone keeps interrupting me. I start speaking faster because I'm worried I won't get another chance.
That's a good example. Instead of racing to finish, you can say, I'd like to finish my thought.
Short and clear.
Or, can I finish this point, and then I'd like to hear your view?
That gives me my turn without shutting the other person out.
Right.
And if the conversation becomes personal,
Can we focus on the problem rather than each other?
that's strong.
Sometimes it needs to be.
Let's make it more personal. Suppose a friend says, you never make time for me.
My first reaction might be, that's not true. You're the one who always cancels.
And now, never has met always.
Which usually means we're about to have a very useful conversation.
Obviously.
A calmer answer might be, I can hear that you're frustrated. I see it differently, though. Can we talk about what happened this week?
I like that, because you're not agreeing with the accusation. You're just showing that you heard the frustration.
Yes, you don't have to choose between attacking someone and agreeing with everything they say.
I think English learners sometimes move too far toward agreement because we're worried about sounding rude.
We do. We say things like, sorry, but maybe I think.
Or, sorry, I'm not sure, but maybe.
Those sentences can be useful, but you don't need to apologize every time you have an opinion.
Sometimes I see it differently is enough.
Yes,
I see it differently.
I see it differently.
Now let me ask about that message again. Can we talk later? That kind of uncertainty makes staying calm difficult for me too.
What happens in your head?
I start filling in the missing information.
With the worst possible information?
Usually.
Give me another example.
A train is delayed 10 minutes. That's all I know. But my brain says, you'll miss your appointment. The appointment will be canceled. The whole day is ruined. You may need to leave the country.
Haha, why does leaving the country always appear in your imaginary emergencies?
My brain likes drama.
And look at what actually happened. The train was delayed. That's all.
Everything after that came from me.
Right. So one good question is, what do I actually know?
The train is delayed.
Do you know why?
No.
Do you know whether the appointment will be canceled?
No.
Then a calm sentence could be, at the moment, the train is delayed. I don't know how long the delay will be yet.
At the moment is useful because it shows that this is only the information I have right now.
Yes. At the moment, the meeting is still scheduled for 3.
Another phrase I like is, I don't want to assume.
That's a useful one. The manager asked to speak with me, but I don't want to assume it's bad news.
Or, my friend hasn't answered yet, but I don't want to assume they're upset.
Right.
And if somebody sends, "Can we talk later?" I could simply reply, "Sure. What time works for you?"
Yes. Or if you need more information, sure. Is there anything I should prepare before we talk?
That feels much better than sending, "Is something wrong? Are you upset? Did I do something?"
And it gives you information instead of creating more anxiety.
But all of these examples have something in common. Nobody is really treating me badly.
True.
That's where I find staying calm much harder. A few months ago, someone kept asking me to change plans after I had already said I couldn't. I kept explaining myself because I didn't want to sound rude.
Did the extra explanations help?
Not really. Every new reason sounded like another part of the negotiation.
That happens a lot. We think being calm means making our no sound so reasonable that the other person has to agree with it.
Exactly. And then I'm not really saying no. I'm asking permission to say no.
That's the difference between being polite and being passive. You can be respectful and still hold your ground.
Hold your ground means stay firm even when somebody pressures you?
Yes. Imagine your manager asks you to work late tonight, but you already have an important commitment.
A passive answer might be, maybe. I guess I can try.
Even though you already know you can't.
Right.
An angry answer might be, I already told you no. Stop asking me.
Clear message. Rough delivery.
A calm boundary could be, I understand this is urgent, but I can't stay late tonight. I can work on it first thing tomorrow morning.
That sounds professional, and there's no hidden maybe.
Exactly.
Let's say the manager keeps pushing.
Alex, we really need you tonight. Everyone else is helping.
I understand the situation, but I can't stay tonight. I'm available first thing tomorrow morning.
Are you sure? It would really help the team.
I understand, but my answer is still no. I can help tomorrow morning.
That's holding your ground. You didn't invent a new reason the second time.
And I didn't get angry just because they asked again.
Right? You kept the message stable.
I find this harder with friends, though. Sometimes somebody makes a joke I don't like, and I laugh because I don't want to make the moment uncomfortable.
That's very common. But if it keeps happening, you can be specific. I'd prefer that you speak to me directly instead of joking about me in front of other people.
That feels uncomfortable to say.
It may, but the other person clearly understands what is bothering you.
And if somebody is shouting during an argument, I probably don't need a long explanation.
No, you could simply say, I'm happy to discuss this, but I don't want to be shouted at.
Or, I want to solve this, but I need us to speak calmly.
Exactly.
And sometimes the answer really is just no.
Then, no, that doesn't work for me can be enough.
That's the part I need to practice. I can turn a simple no into a 5-minute presentation about my schedule.
Why? A complete documentary about why Alex is unavailable.
With supporting evidence.
Sometimes, I'm sorry, but I can't do that today, is enough.
That actually sounds calmer than giving 5 different reasons.
Because you're not trying to convince the other person that you deserve to say no.
That works if I remember it in time. My bigger problem is that sometimes I understand all of this after I've already said something rude.
That happens.
So what do I do then?
You repair the conversation.
Meaning, I don't have to pretend the first sentence never happened.
No, you acknowledge it and improve what comes next.
Give me an example.
Imagine I've been waiting for customer service for a long time. You finally answer and I say, well, it's about time somebody helped me.
I'm already annoyed, and I'm only pretending to be customer service.
Then I hear myself and realize my tone was unfair. I can say, sorry, that came out more sharply than I intended.
Sharply means more angry or harsh than you wanted.
Yes. Then I might continue. I've been waiting a long time and I'm frustrated, but I know you're trying to help.
That's useful because you're apologizing for the way you spoke, not for the fact that there's a real problem.
Your concern can still matter.
What if I just want to start the sentence again?
Say, let me say that again.
Simple.
Imagine I tell you, you never listen to me.
My first instinct is to defend myself immediately.
Then I stop and say, let me say that again. I don't think I explained my main concern clearly.
Now I can listen instead of preparing my defense.
That's the idea. A repair gives the other person a way back into the conversation.
Could I also say, that came out wrong?
Absolutely. That came out wrong. What I meant was...
That sounds especially useful when the problem is the wording.
Yes.
What if the conversation ended, but things still feel uncomfortable afterward?
Then you might want to clear the air.
Meaning talk openly about the tension?
Right. For example, can we talk for a minute? I'd like to clear the air.
I actually had something like that happen after I sent a friend a message that sounded colder than I meant.
What did you send?
It was only 3 words.
3 words can be dangerous.
Then they replied, okay.
That one word can be dangerous too.
I stared at it for a while, trying to decide what kind of okay it was.
Did you ask if they were angry?
I almost did. I nearly sent several nervous messages, but I waited. Later I called and said, I think my message sounded more negative than I meant. I just wanted to clear the air.
And were they angry?
No. I had created most of the problem in my own head.
Which takes us right back to uncertainty.
Facts first.
Yes.
You know, I'm noticing something. There isn't one special sentence that means stay calm.
What do you mean?
Sometimes I need time. Sometimes I need to ask a question. Sometimes I need to disagree. Sometimes I need to say no. And sometimes I need to repair something I already said.
That's true. The useful sentence depends on what the situation needs.
Give me a few situations, and let me see if I can choose the right phrase.
All right. Your manager suddenly asks you a difficult question in a meeting, and you need a few seconds before answering.
Give me a moment to think.
Now, somebody tells you your appointment has changed, but you're not sure you heard the new time correctly.
Let me make sure I understood. The appointment is now at 4. Is that right?
Your coworker gives an opinion you disagree with.
I see it differently. I think we need more time.
And someone keeps pressuring you after you've already said no.
I understand, but my answer is still no.
Nice.
Those are easier to remember when I imagine the situation, instead of just memorizing the phrase.
If you're listening, try these next few with Alex.
Give yourself a second before you answer.
Someone misunderstood what you were trying to say. What could you use?
What I meant was...
Right. Now imagine you started explaining something, but halfway through you realize you're making it more complicated.
I'd probably stop and say, let me say that another way.
Exactly. And one more. You spoke more angrily than you intended.
That came out more sharply than I intended.
That's the useful thing about these phrases. They're simple enough to remember even when the conversation feels difficult.
I'm thinking about your bakery story again.
My imaginary argument?
Yes. You didn't need to become completely relaxed. You just needed enough time to find out what was really happening.
Right.
But if the man really had cut in front of you, what would you have said?
Probably something simple. Excuse me. I think the line starts back here.
So calm would not mean staying silent.
Not at all. It would mean responding to the real situation instead of the one I had already created in my head.
I think that's the part I'll remember.
Me too. Staying calm gives you more choices.
You can ask before you accuse.
You can clarify before you guess.
You can disagree without turning the conversation into a fight.
You can hold your ground without shouting.
And if you say something badly, you still have the next sentence.
That may be the most useful idea here. You don't have to control every first feeling perfectly. Just notice what is happening and choose the next sentence a little more carefully.
Before we go, we'd love to know which phrase from today would be most useful in your real life and where you would use it.
Write one complete sentence in the comments if you'd like to practice your English with us.
And if you enjoy learning practical English through natural conversations like this, give the video a like and subscribe to English Life channel. We'd love to have you with us again.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm Alex.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today.
Keep listening, keep speaking, and keep using your English in real situations.
Take care, everyone.